Welcome to the Car Guys. I'm out here in the glorious sunshine with my 458 Italia, and this week's episode, a full update on all the Ferraris that we could potentially be getting in the future, including the Ferrari Roma, the GTS and the SF90, which ones we're getting and which ones we're definitely not getting. So this morning is a bit of car admin. You can see behind me I've got the 458 Italia out of the garage. I'm about to take that down to Meridian Modena Service Centre. It's going to have some warranty work done on it, but at the same time I'm going to pick up the Challenge Stradale, which has been in for a service and has got 4 new tyres on it, and I'll tell you why that's important later on in this episode. Also today I've got to pick up my Honda NSX from First Choice Detailing, who've been giving it a thorough paint correction process. But the main topic of this week's episode is why I've decided not to get a Ferrari F8 Tributo. It's been a very difficult and long decision. I've ummed and ahed about it for ages, but I think my mind now is made up. But let's take the 458 Italia out, take it to Meridian and swap it for the Strad. Now, I've not driven this 458 Italia for quite a while, which is a bit of a shame because every single time I get into it, I'm reminded just what an accomplished, all-rounder, perfect everyday Ferrari it really is. But enough of that. You want to know why I've decided not to buy an F8 Tributo, and obviously get an update on the 812 Superfast and the Pista Spider that I'm waiting for. Now, this wasn't an easy decision for me. Do you really need that car, given the fact that it's so similar to the Pista? Of course it's a bit better because it's newer, but inherently we're talking about a hardtop V8 twin-turbo Ferrari. It's not a limited model, it's not a super hot special one. It does look good, but I was struggling to justify it to myself. I actually thought maybe with the F8 Tributo, that's the car that I would take on the track. I would maybe track my Tributo, but I have to say on further consideration I think there are much better cars for that role, notably a 911 GT3 or GT3 RS. So with the track out of the way, you are essentially therefore looking at a road car. If I'm getting one of those special Pista Spiders, that is about as close to an F8 as you can get, because it's the last Pistas being made just before they swap over and they then are making the F8s. Aerodynamics and body aside and a few bits inside the engine, are we really talking about much of a difference? Could I tell that difference? I don't think so. So what am I left with? I'm left with getting the latest V8 Ferrari for the sake of getting the latest V8 Ferrari. And that just doesn't sit well with me. Now, will that cause me an issue in terms of the ability to get the hot F8 Tributo? Yes, I think it probably will. Probably hand on my heart, I didn't really want an F8 Tributo. I just felt that I needed it. I felt that I should get it. And let's not forget the other important reason, which cannot help but influence my decision. I've still got 2 Ferraris that haven't been delivered yet. I'm still waiting for my 812, still waiting for my Pista Spider, and it does feel pretty wrong ordering and speccing another car when I still have 2 on the way, and when I'm getting what feels like the last of those cars ever made. It's also just a little bit galling to have a car that you haven't actually had delivered yet, which is already replaced with the F8. Ferrari need to take some note of that feeling, which is that very obvious obsolescence being rubbed in your face is not always a great thing for customers. We're not that far from the service centre. Do you fancy some beans? I think you deserve some beans. Here we go then. See? She's still got it. What a noise that is. Never gets tiresome, that one. So now I'm arriving at the Meridian Modena service centre, their new service centre, gleaming new tower of steel and glass, and it's time to collect the Challenge Stradale, which has had a full service and 4 new tyres. And I will tell you about why that was necessary when I get in that car. So here we are in the Challenge Stradale. I've just picked it up, it's had a full service, MOT and 4 brand new tyres. Why did it need brand new tyres, Damian? Well, it would seem that after my road trip to Scotland and various other escapades, the Challenge Stradale's tyres were pretty much bald. And when you take a track-based high-performance Ferrari on the road in slightly damp, cold conditions, then it can do quite severe, scary things. And in the case of this car, I had a moment where the car snapped away from me on a straight road, did a full 360 and ended up on the opposite side of the road in the grass. Fortunately, no other cars were around at the time. It was around about 40 miles an hour, so it wasn't a high speed incident, but incredibly, there was no damage to the car whatsoever. And when it got to the service centre and they gave me the report, that's when they highlighted that the tyres were low all around. You didn't need Poirot to basically work that one out. And I think given that it's a dry day and we've got new tyres, I think we might have to have just a little bit of beans. Still special. Okay guys, so Ferrari update. The latest exclusive news right here for Car Guys viewers is that the Pista Spider may be arriving in May 2020. So May this year, there is a chance that it may arrive, May or June possibly. And the 812 Superfast might also be arriving in the same month or possibly June. But what else has Ferrari got that perhaps we should be considering, or we've maybe already discounted? Don't forget, we have the 812 GTS. Now that is the folding hardtop version of the 812 Superfast. You recall we went to the launch of that last year. I've pretty much decided that I'm not going to go for that car. And I know that might be madness, but I think because it's a standard production car and not a special limited edition, my gut is telling me to stay with the hardtop version. I'm not looking to buy a car and then flip it, so that would be the main reason to buy the GTS over the hardtop. And so by sticking with the hardtop and buying that, I am kind of confirming that I'm buying that car because I actually want it, as opposed to making a load of money out of it. But a lot of my friends have already flipped to GTSs from their 812 Superfasts, and good luck to them. I've got a feeling that the 812 Superfast hardtop will not be in production that much longer, and so that's why I wanted to stick with it. I wanted the proper Grand Tourer as opposed to the GTS, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm stupid, I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments, but that's the decision that I've taken. What about the Ferrari Roma? I'm not hugely convinced by the looks of it, although I will admit that I have not seen it in the flesh. I wasn't invited to the launch. Perhaps they probably knew that it wasn't necessarily my bag. I'm not a big fan of the looks. I'm not a big fan of the fact that they brought the sort of haptic controls from the SF90 into that car. You know, I'm sure it makes sense, but for me, that's just more dilution of the tactility that I love inside a Ferrari. So I can categorically confirm that there will not be a Roma coming to the Car Guys garage. And also I can confirm that there will not be an SF90 coming to the Car Guys garage. I pretty much decided that I do not want to go for that car. It's just, again, that sort of hybrid technology doesn't hugely interest me. Ferrari are obviously going to be doing their Universo Ferrari event again this year, where they will announce some of the new models. I'm expecting, for example, the new 812 Super-Superfast to be announced probably at the middle of this year, and maybe even being shown and launched at Universo Ferrari. Obviously, I would chop off big parts of my anatomy to get one of those, but as a result of me not taking some of these other cars, perhaps my chance of getting one of those is now slim. We've got the LaFerrari replacement being announced possibly this year or maybe next, so that will be very, very interesting. Again, will I be offered one of those? Difficult to tell. I mean, I think I probably needed to have bought pretty much everything I've been offered so far to open up my way to that sort of car. So now it's back to the Car Guys HQ, drop off the Strad, and we've got to pick up the Honda NSX, which has had a full paint correction process on it to get rid of all the scratches that were put on by the terrible washing that was done at the Honda dealer where it was serviced. It basically looked like they had washed the car using a sponge impregnated with stones. And here it is, as promised, the Honda NSX. It's been completely rejuvenated. So we've had a G-Technics Crystal Serum light put all over it. It's had all of the scratches and dings buffed out of it, and it is absolutely just like new. I could not be happy with the job that First Choice Detailing has done. It looks amazing. Thanks for watching this Ferrari update episode and my thoughts on the F8 Tributo and also many of Ferrari's upcoming models. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please subscribe, leave likes and comments. We read them all and we love your interaction with the channel. Also check out our Instagram and also our website at www.TheCarGuys.TV, and there'll be another episode along next week.